Welcome back, FC, to another outstanding installment of Floyd Fever. I'm one of your anchors, Colin Wood.
And I'm Lucas Hunchman. We're live in the WNAS studio, giving you all of the latest and greatest news of what's going on in our school.
We'll be talking about veganism, interesting vacation spots, and more.
But first, with this new year, we have new elections coming up, which means students are going to be, for the first time, voting.
We know there's a lot to consider when choosing what party or politician you want to vote for, so to help understand, we sent Elizabeth Melton to take a look.
With President Trump recently making history as becoming the third president to become impeached, there's a lot of political turmoil. A lot of students are asking, what's next? What can I do? And is there anything I can actually do? Especially since a lot of the students at FC aren't 18. Well, I went around and asked, and here's what I got.
I think it's really important to understand how your local government works. I don't think you have to know everything as a teenager, but I think you should start getting naturally curious about who you're electing to office and having reasons for voting for people beyond just my family or my parents have done this the same way all the time. You should start doing your own research into candidates.
It all starts with the basics. It's recommended that every student knows who the administrators of the school are. After all, they are the ones who control your lives at school every day. After that, work your way up from there. Learn who your governors are and how our government functions. Being informed will help you make good decisions whenever you are able to vote. If you are a senior, there's a good chance you will qualify to vote. In Indiana, there are just 5 requirements you need to have. First off, you need to be a U.S. citizen. The second requirement is that you need to be 18 years old before the election. Third, you cannot vote if you are in prison. 4. You have to have lived in the area for 30 days before you can vote there. And lastly, you have to be registered to vote. Registering to vote is very simple, and all you need is a form that you can find online. Many teachers here at FC are doing their best to inform their students about what is happening in our world today.
Well, I'm currently the sponsor of the Civics Club, and it's completely student-driven. We're planning a voter registration drive and also an opportunity for kids to volunteer for officials and maybe do canvassing. So I think we do a lot here to kind of promote civic engagement among students.
Even if you aren't 18 years old, you can still have a political impact. You are still able to protest and participate in rallies. Today's decisions are what make your future. You should have a say in those decisions. Make your voice heard. As you can see, there's plenty of options that you can do, even if you're not 18 years old, in order to be politically involved. I'm Elizabeth Melton. Back to you.
Obviously, there's a lot to consider when voting for politics, but at the end of the day, we recommend just going with your gut.
I don't know. I'll listen to the debates and make my decision based on that.
Tomato, tomato. Health is very important to me, so that's why I've considered going vegan. Veganism is sweeping across the nation, and so is its plant-based meat substitutes. It's fake meat, but somehow it's meat, and somehow it's impossible. Some say it's impossible. So I had to go on a journey to find out the bottom of this phenomenon. 77% of students have never eaten vegan meat. 70% of students think traditional meat is healthier. 60% of students think the cafeteria should implement vegan meat, and only 3% are actually vegan. Is fake meat better than traditional meat?
Well, not necessarily. It's great to eat a lot of vegetables, but you still need protein, and you need to make sure that that's from a good source. A lot of the veggie burgers that are on the market contain a lot of soy-based ingredients, and soy often is genetically modified, so that would be my number one concern about those burgers.
So when you say soy, is this like soy like we might know from the Impossible Burger? Is that what they might use to make burgers like that?
Well, so that's one type of burger that's out there that's gaining popularity and is at some restaurants even now. Read labels carefully and just find out what's really in it. They don't have to have soy, but a lot of them do. And if it does, I would look for something that's organic, because if it's organic soy, then that would be okay. If it's not organic, then it might be, and probably is, genetically modified.
I'm here in the cafeteria, getting ready to talk to Miss Richardson to see what the cafeteria has to offer.
Well, we don't necessarily have vegan options. We do offer vegetarian choices every day. We base our, our needs of our students' most popular diet item, and that would be vegetarian over vegan at this point in time.
That's pretty compelling. Maybe I should become vegan.
Well, you're in luck, Colin, because I brought 2 impossible sliders from White Castle.
Oh.
Yeah, check one out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, wow, they look like meat.
so let's see if these actually are good or not.
Oh, man.
All right. Huh? Tastes like a burger.
That's-
Whoa.
I hate it.
How do you hate that? Okay.
I don't know. I usually like the impossible meats, but I don't know. I am feeling a little bit energized after that, though.
Well, that's cool. Me too.
It just doesn't taste like the meat that I was hoping
Well,
for.
I like it.
And speaking of being energized, I could like to use that energy to study, like for the ACT. Oh, the ACT is one of the most important tests that a student can take. But with a few helpful study tips, there is no need to stress. One helpful way to prepare is to buy an ACT prep book. These could come with practice questions and tests to help you know what you're getting yourself into.
Well, as tempting as it may seem, it's not a good idea to cram studying into one night. It's best to create a schedule for yourself and spread it out over the course of a few weeks, and I find that really helps that you retain the information.
Studying is not fun, but it's something we all have to do.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things to do while studying is have a snack. But sometimes I'm at school and I get hungry and I don't know what to do.
Well, Colin, if you actually get hungry, then I'm going to tell you about the cookie cart.
Ooh.
Yeah, the cookie cart is run by Miss Thrasher and goes around the school selling cookies during the school day. Cookies cost $1 each. They bake them on Monday, and the rest of the week they sell them. And what's cool about this is that the money they receive, they use for the children to go on field trips and school stuff. It's really cool.
Well, that's heartwarming. Now, here at Floyd Fever, we like to recognize some of the staff that goes underappreciated. So in today's staff spotlight, we will be recognizing Miss Kerberg, who is a receptionist here at FC. One of the most unacknowledged and underappreciated staff members here at Floyd, Miss Kerberg is essentially the gatekeeper here at Floyd Central. She lets people in and out of the school through the rotunda by the front office. We spoke with her to learn more about her experiences.
I love it here. I really love it here. I was in law enforcement before, and I love that, but I love this environment. So this is just the job that I think I will be here for the long term. We have a fantastic staff, we have amazing kids, and it just makes for a great day. Everybody works really well together, and it's fun. So if you can have fun every day and get paid for it, it's a good day.
Well, it really gives you a new appreciation for how hard it is to run a school, especially with people like Miss Kerberg.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's throw it over to Garrett Gravitt, who's going to tell us about New Year's resolutions.
Garrett, take it away.
Lucas and Colin. Now, every year, millions of people make New Year's resolutions. However, I feel that they're rarely followed upon. So I decided to go out and ask fellow classmates to see if they made resolutions. If so, how they plan on keeping them. So let's take a look. In 2018, 40% of Americans made New Year's resolutions to try to improve their life. No matter if it's going to the gym more, spending time with family, or practicing a new skill, people tend to keep these resolutions strong for a few weeks. But once the new year loses its new, people tend to return back to their regular habits, just as they've done in the years before. This is why only 8% of the people that make them keep them strong throughout the year. So we wanted to see what you guys thought about New Year's resolutions. Out of a sample size of 352 people, 63.1% or 222 people said that they made one. With that, 10.8% of people have already broken their resolution in the first few weeks of the new year. You guys are more confident in it than the average American, since 40% of you guys believe you can hold on to it until December. So I went to interview a few students to see what they think about New Year's resolutions. Hello, today I'm with junior Aja Foster to talk about her New Year's resolutions. So Aja, what was your New Year's resolution?
So I used to play soccer, so I was a very athletic person my freshman and sophomore year, and then I quit for school. So then I wasn't being very active at all. So then I decided to this year start going to the gym with my friend.
So will you be able to hold on to this goal until December?
I think, yeah. The only thing that'll be like the big problem for me is just work and school because I'm constantly doing either one. And so I just have to find free time. But I mean, other than that, I think it'll be easy.
All right, thank you. And now I'm here with sophomore Brock Kennedy, and to ask him about why he didn't make New Year's resolutions. So Brock, why didn't you make one?
I decided to not make a New Year's resolution because I felt like it just wasn't needed as my goals go. I'm a soccer player and I tend to make my goals at the end of a soccer season instead of just for the whole new year. And I tend to change things up throughout the whole year, and a New Year's resolution is meant to be solid as like the whole year goes through, not changed. And that's just not how I set my goals.
What are your thoughts on other people making New Year's resolutions?
Other people can make their New Year's resolutions. Sometimes they like to set their goals at the beginning of the year. That's perfectly fine. They can do whatever suits them best. But just personally, it doesn't suit what I need to do for my living and in sports.
All right. Well, thank you, Brock. Now we know what Floyd Central students have to say about New Year's resolutions. Well, there we have it. Some students are working hard to keep them, while others take a more modern approach to bettering themselves. So now, Lucas and Colin, back to you.
Thank you, Garrett.
Colin, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
No, I'm more like Brock. I just improve myself as the year goes on.
Yeah, well, you may not believe in New Year's resolutions, but I want to improve my school performance this semester. Every semester, grades reset, allowing you to have a clean slate. Tardies also reset, giving you a new chance to improve your attendance. Demerits, although, they only reset every year. However, you can get demerits appealed by talking to teachers who gave it to you. But you may need to do some sort of school or community service.
That's pretty useful information.
Yeah, and every semester I try to improve my grades better than the last semester, and it gets pretty difficult.
Well, I mean, it's safe to say this semester is going to be a doozy. After it's over, it'll be important to have a nice summer vacation. That's why we're introducing a new segment to Floyd Fever called Finding Paradise, where every episode we'll be present an interesting vacation spot for the summer. For today's broadcast, I'll show you around California. Let's take a look. I'm Colin Wood from FCTV, reporting to you from the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport to inform you of the best summer spots for your summer vacation. So let's go head down to Cali. I landed at the LAX airport in California with the intention of finding the best vacation spots there. So I thought it'd be a good idea to find an opinion from the city of Los Angeles.
Well, the number one place I think is great is Hollywood, of course, because that's where the movie business is. Not just that, there's so many locations around Los Angeles and Hollywood that are famous for being in the movies.
Los Angeles also includes one of the most famous routes, Route 66.
Los Angeles is where Route 66 ends. It actually ends along Santa Monica Boulevard, which goes straight into the Pacific Ocean. So as you drive Santa Monica Boulevard, it actually ends at the Santa Monica Pier, which is a huge pier. They have an amusement park on it, and that's where Route 66 ends.
Los Angeles has always been a popular attraction for out-of-state visitors. It was fun to see the city and all of its tourist attractions it had to offer, not to mention the great food and restaurants featured on famous movie sets.
Well, I love all parts of California, and just the coast is absolutely beautiful. All the different options that are there, and the cities are amazing. You could spend so much time. You could probably spend months and months there and not see everything that you want to. But I really honestly think, because I'm a huge Disney fan, the best vacation spot in California is right there in Anaheim. I went to Disneyland about 3 years ago, and so a lot of things have changed since I was there last. But one thing I love about Disneyland is that there are so many original rides that were built there in the first location. So as far as Disney World and Disneyland, they came to Disneyland first. And watching some things online and some different videos about how that came to be, it's interesting to see how those rides came there, and Walt Disney's frame of reference when he brought rides into the area. I love Disneyland and the proximity to everything. All of your 3 Disneyland hotels are right there, right off of downtown Disney. And the 2 parks, Disneyland California Adventure, are literally right across the promenade from each other. So it's easy to hop over if you need to.
Disney's latest addition, Galaxy Edge, has been the most popular attraction.
Smuggler's Run and Galaxy's Edge is truly an amazing experience. Being able to drive the Millennium Falcon and feel like you're part of that Star Wars fantasy for kids and for people that love that is another thing that Disney has done so well at making you feel like you're part of the movie. Just truly immersive.
Disney also gives you the option of 3 different resorts to stay in.
You can't go wrong with any of the 3 hotels that are there off of downtown Disney, especially with the walking distance, and they're all beautiful, very luxurious hotels.
From the information I gathered, Disneyland seemed like the place to be when visiting, and that should be no surprise. Disneyland has been one of the most famous attractions for almost 65 years now, and doesn't seem to be slowing down. That's why families from all over the world come to visit for an unforgettable experience that I'm sure you'll have also. This is Colin Wood with the best summer vacations. Back to you.
Well, I would definitely consider going to California for my next vacation.
Yeah,
that LA traffic looks delightful.
I mean, I really enjoy it. There is a lot of tourist attractions, a lot of places to see. I mean, I was never bored.
Well, that's for sure. The show today was great, and we hope you enjoyed and maybe opened your eyes up to something new.
From all of us here at WNAS, this has been Floyd Fever.
Bye.